writing has been the one unifying skill or craft that I've followed all my life. I've been writing since, as far as I can remember, since I was 10 years old, I'd say. So I'm a writer first and everything after. To me, true freedom is when I can be who I am and not be judged for it, and I can follow what spiritual or religious path that I want, wear what I want, do what I want, and still not have to validate my nationality. What I mean by that is, in this country, you need to adhere to us. You need to look a certain way. You need to follow certain religious ideologies. You need to speak a certain way and act a certain way to be called Indian. I would like the freedom to do what I want and wear what I want, just as long as I'm within my constitutional rights, and not have to justify my nationality. And that's the same with my gender. I want to be able to wear what I want, talk what I want, and not have to be constantly justifying my gender.
I can't do sexy. I can't do sexy. I can't do sexy. I can't do sexy. Sexy.
Within the next 5 years, I want to create good mainstream art that is still nuanced and intelligent. It's a scary dream, but that's what I want to do. I want to create some piece of work that is mainstream, that everyone watches, that my grandmother can watch, that my mother can watch, that my neighbor can watch, but also that has nuance, that has social commentary, that has pieces of me in it. So that's the dream for now. I'm not saying I want an all-girl team. I just want more girls out there in my team. And the reason there aren't even enough women in the film industry making it big is because a lot of women assume they might be bad at it. And I just want to say, no, we're good at software, we're good at this, just get in there. So the problem is that initial bit, there needs to be a little more hand-holding for women than for men. And people might say, hey, isn't that unfair? You give a woman 2 chances when you give a man only 1 chance. At this stage, that is required, because a lot of these women have been growing up. Remember what I said about dreams? They've been growing up not dreaming, growing up believing they belong behind a kitchen, growing up with years and years of conditioning. And at this stage in India, they require some hand holding. And I don't mean hold their hand and edit, but saying, hey, you know what, you can do it. I would say I am atheist, but I'm not closed off atheist or militant atheist. I am open to maybe that I might be wrong, but right now I'm atheist. But I'm also someone who believes that people should be allowed to follow whatever they want to follow, be it religion or be it lack of religion. Because if I believe I deserve the right to not follow any religion, I should also believe that my mother has the right to follow religion. It's her choice. As long as in the name of that religion you're not hurting people, I think spirituality, as someone who was religious, I understand the peace and the hope and the purpose it can give you, and I appreciate that. And why would I take that away from someone? If something gives you joy, if a puppy gives you joy, would I take that puppy away from you? No. If that religion gives you joy, why would I take that away from you? But if you're someone who's going through what I went through, who says, okay, I'm confused about my religion, or this doesn't make sense to me, my entire family is following this, but I want to take a different path, then if you come to me, I can help you with my experiences, because giving up religion is a really, really pivotal moment in your life. There's not enough support systems for it. Some people even say giving up religion and coming out as atheist is almost like coming out as like homosexual. It's as big a lifestyle change. So in fact, I've been in discussions with a couple of my friends trying to see if we can build support systems. Abroad, they have ex-Muslim support systems, like Alcoholics Anonymous group support systems. I would really love to build something like that. Being an artist is so part of my personality that that was the one thing that wasn't a choice. That's why my tattoo says create, because if I'm not creating, then I'm nothing.
So my name is Lakshmi Priya and I'm an actor by profession. I do stage, I do theatre, and I also do films in 2 languages in India. Basically I'm an actor because I love it. I really enjoy acting. And I am also, along with acting, I also believe that as actors, we have a very, very powerful medium in our hand, right? Which influences a lot of people. So along with just doing entertainment, I also do a lot of these videos that talk about issues, that talk about things that people need to have a conversation about. In a way, I can say that all of us are feminists because basically we all end of the day want equality, right? And we stand up for our own rights. And all of these women do it in their own way, in their own profession. So it's amazing to meet all of them, and I'm part of this basically to just get to know all these lovely people and network.
Being modern is somebody who's just very aware of what's happening during that period of time. And accepting and not judging others who might adhere to it or may not adhere to it, that is being modern.
That kitty agile, yeah. Move around, yeah. You won't find none.
How would I describe myself? Wow, that's an interesting one. I need to think about this for a second.
Swipe if you act a goon. Kitty got feelings too. Kitty gon' remind you.
Art is not, because it's not something that can, which you only see. It's something you hear. It's something you feel. You know, so anything that makes you use more senses in your body will always be something that progresses, you know, society.
Nighttime, daytime, children on my puffy cushion. Kitty won't take no shot and pushing.
I don't believe in religion so much. I am a spiritual person. I do believe that there is a higher being, but that's about it. I do not disrespect anyone who is religious, though. I mean, to each his own. I respect that. Believe in dogs? Yeah, I do believe in dogs. Dogs are beautiful beings.
Right, yeah. That kitty won't wipe, yeah. That kitty agile, yeah. Move around, yeah. You won't find none.
Basically, music has been a huge part of my life, starting from when I was a kid, where my mom used to play like old 70s music, and I grew up on basically listening to country music and the Beatles. And as I grew up, I started recognizing more different types of music and creating my own taste, like the music I wanted to listen to. I realized that I wanted to make my own music, and I wanted to be able to connect with people, because I wanted to play my own sounds. So that's what got me into production. In 10 years, I want to be playing the best festivals in the world. I actually have a list of the festivals that I want to be playing, and probably having my own record label, signing on other artists, and making sure that a lot of women are given given a push into the industry in the type of way that they should, because I feel like women are still kind of grapple with the whole power play which goes on, you know. I've seen way too many female musicians who are so good and even better than the male musicians that they are compared to, but they're not doing as well when it comes to financially, you know, because I don't know for what reason, honestly. I think it's just a lot of politics when it comes to the sexes, you know, and a lot of groupism, and women get lost in that. So I would love to sign on a lot more women and promote them. am a DJ and producer, but that becomes a big part of my being, you know, because I feel like when you're a creative, you're not separated from what you do. You are what you do.
I think everybody is an artist in their own ways. Life is performance art. The way we behave, the way we do things, it is how we perform our everyday function is art in itself. So yeah, art has helped. I think if not for art, I would have gone insane. Because somewhere it helps me, you know, when I see, I'm very sensitive, I'm very reactive. So if I see something, I get very emotional. If not for art, if I didn't have an outlet to express these things and share these things, I would have gone crazy, because there's so much of injustice, there's so much of bad that truly it's just around, and you know, we can be in denial for long enough, but when you truly see these things, you can't also just keep ignoring them. So art helps me cope with the world, basically. It's a coping mechanism for me. It's a method. Capital F was something that was there within me for a long time, but it was initiated because that was the woman in me which wanted to sort of create a territory within the freelance space, within the professional community, that yes, we are here and you can find us here. It is just that simple. It is not about pushing for, it's not about asking or demanding. It is just a space to collaborate, a space to showcase, a space to share ideas, a space to feel encouraged. Because there are so many freelance women in multiple industries, but somehow it doesn't register that so many women exist in this space. Somewhere most work goes to a man and then comes to a woman. You know, the fact that nobody openly says they're looking for a cinematographer. And when they say cinematographer, they're not talking about women. And sometimes very few people specifically say we're looking for a female cinematographer. That's not a bad thing, even though some people get offended with it. My point is not to take offense over these small things. It's to create more opportunity for female freelance professionals. Gender is something that I use as an identity to include myself. So I can relate to all genders. When I say I am genderqueer, I'm free of gender, it means it's not like I don't have any gender. I'm trying to tell that I have all genders. If there's a man, I associate with a man. Because I feel identity shouldn't be used to separate us from each other. Instead, identity should be used to bring us together. Only one word I could come up with was we're all the same. We are all exactly the same. So in that sense, I feel even gender, I think all of us are of the same gender. My brain, my heart, even my body, in fact, for that matter, I don't believe it has a particular gender. Maybe biologically I'm female, but mentally and emotionally I am everything. Equality is a downgrade for women, I personally feel. Like, I don't want to be a man. I'm happier being a woman. Being a man would be down for me then, because I feel so much more empowered, I feel so much more positive, I feel so much more nourishing being a woman. Because I understand life, I understand death, I'm capable of giving life from within me as well, right? So I think men don't understand that potential of life, that you can create life, and that's a superpower.
So my name is what the name which is given to me is Anjali, and my screen name is Anjali Patil. But when I travel, I change my name often because there is so much and so many things attached to my name. I work in films. I'm an actor, and I write poems whenever I'm heartbroken and happy. But I'm mostly working in films as an actor. My films range from independent, Bollywood, international. Most of them are socially, they are based on social issues. So I worked in films which were about human trafficking, domestic violence, and gender disparity, and all the social issues which you can think of. Actually, the careers are pretty much set. Like either you become a doctor, you become an engineer, or you get into an IT sector, and you have a 9-to-5 job. You have a fixed salary, a fixed income, and then you get married. You save. That's the pretty much structure of the society. You get married, you have kids, you have a certain amount of money, a house, a car, all the luxuries which are given to us, all these ideas of how a good life should be led. And art probably gave me this openness, this open sky to just be whoever I am and whatever I want to do. Also, this freedom gave me a lot of responsibility. So as an artist, I feel as I grew to become more an artist, I also became more responsible socially, and became more responsible towards my gender and my role as the celebrity or a star who is portrayed on a big screen. So I get pretty, I need to be sure that if someone hits me on the screen, if a man hits me on the screen, which is pretty common in Indian culture, I need to have a reason, and I need to have the resolution and answer right there in that film. It can't be just for the sake of it. I mean, people say that there are many films where the guy hits the girl and she falls in love with him. And I was like, what? Really? How? It's bizarre. It's pretty much the old-fashioned way of looking at female characters. I guess it's all around the world, like this damsel in distress. It's changing. Last 5 years, 10 years, it has been changing. A lot of female-centric roles have been written. A lot of women directors are coming up. A lot of women technicians are coming up. But still, an intelligent woman is always a threat. So you still need to. I feel there was a time when I was actually scared to be called as a feminist, because feminist meant so many things. And I used to say that I'm not against men. I love men. I am as woman as a man as well. I have both things inside me, and I have beautiful men who are my friends, who are my lovers, who are my partners in work. So there is nothing against men. But there is a very deep patriarchal seeds inside men. I have also seen very open men as well, but I have also seen men who would call themselves very liberal, but yet they are scared of women coming and fighting against them. So that's something I'm exploring right now. meeting all these people who are supposed to be very liberal, but somewhere they're scared. So, and love, I guess love is the only way to remove this fear for each other. There are many layers to be a woman, and I'm so proud of it. I'm really proud of being this creation, being this woman who has many layers, who is multifunctional, multi-talented, sometimes better than men in many ways. Women are not against men. We have to function together. It's impossible to hate men or men to hate women. Then we cannot function. We need to love each other, understand each other, and that's how we can create.
You're not separated from what you do. You are what you do.
Basically, we all end of the day want equality, right? And we stand up for our own rights.
If I'm not creating, then I'm nothing. What gender is my brain? That's an interesting question. That's a very interesting question. I would say my brain is female, but it has taken some time to become female and embrace its femininity. When I was younger, I denied all gender. Then I think when I was younger, I thought it was male. Then there was a point where I denied all gender. But now I have definitely embraced the femininity of my brain because it's emotional, it's nurturing, and it's also resilient.